Alright, so what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are back here with a Madden 24 rebuild today. Yeah, I was kind of itching to do a Madden rebuild again. I really haven't done one since 2K24 came out. And this one is going to be a challenge. We are going to rebuild the New York Giants, who have been just awful this season. I'm recording this before the Sunday Night Football game between them and the Buffalo Bills. And yeah, I just can't believe how many primetime games the Giants have had this year and how bad they've looked in primetime against the Cowboys, the Niners, the Seahawks, and now they have another primetime game, or you guys already know what happened against the Bills. Hey, Saquon's back. Maybe they win. But yeah, they have not looked good this year. The offense has looked really bad. The defense hasn't looked much better. Daniel Jones is looking like he just robbed the Giants of $40 million this year and next year just because he won a playoff game against Minnesota last year. And the Giants look like they could be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes or maybe the Drake May sweepstakes. I think they should still try to get a quarterback because I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer. It's basically a 4-year extension, but they can cut him for not as big of a cap hit after year 2. So it's essentially a 2-year deal. What I definitely want to improve on this roster is the receiving core. Darren Waller is good. I do think he's a little bit overrated at this point. Saquon's still one of the better running backs in the league when healthy. But the receiving core is just such a hodgepodge, guys. Like, you just got Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, who they signed, Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt, Sterling Shepard, which all seem like high-end wide receiver 3s, maybe low-end wide receiver 2s at best. And I feel like it's just like a different receiver every week that is like their top guy. On the offensive line, though, led by Andrew Thomas, he's had his injury concerns. And Evan Neal, maybe not getting along with Giants fans as well, but he is a top 10 pick from a year ago. They drafted Deontay Banks out of Maryland in the first round. They do have Dexter Lawrence on the defensive line, and he's got X Factor. They have Leonard Williams, Dave Ojolari, who's still young at the outside linebacker crew. They traded for Isaiah Simmons before the season started. Kayvon Thibodeau, who was a top 10 pick, along with Evan Neal. That was with one of the picks that they got from the Justin Fields trade when the Bears traded up back in, 2021. We have Xavier McKinney at the free safety spot. He's been okay this year. You have also Adoree Jackson as the cornerback 1. This team has some talent, but it is not a Super Bowl team. I don't think it's a team that can even win a playoff game. I do think maybe beating the Vikings last year, and which was such like a big win for Giants fans and a team that hasn't been good really since they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl over a decade ago. It kind of set them back a little bit because they did extend Daniel Jones. So yeah, year 1 is basically I'm okay with tanking. It looks like start today. Wow, we have a 30 overall on the team. That is crazy. Start today is just not a thing in Madden. Great job on their part. So we are here in week 1. So yeah, it is a good quarterback class with Caleb Williams and Drake May being kind of it's 1 and 2, not like a 1A, 1B, but Drake May is really good. You got JJ McCarthy, you got Shedeur Sanders if he does end up leaving Colorado, Quinn Ewers from Texas, Michael Penix, you got Bo Nix. So definitely a lot of options if we were to draft a quarterback. All right, so we finished the season 2-15. Let's go. I am so happy with that. We actually beat the Dallas Cowboys to start off the season, so I'm glad that Madden wasn't a big fan of us, and yeah, not a lot of these games were close. God damn, our offense was just horrendous. Daniel Jones was 31st in the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He threw 27 interceptions. There's no way I can have him as my starting quarterback next year. Hopefully we can have a rookie one, and then I guess we'll eventually try to cut him. No true wide receiver one. I guess it was Darius Slayton had the most receptions and the most yards. Darren Waller, 513 yards. Evan Neal gave up 15 sacks. Not great whatsoever. The interior linebackers, though, were pretty good. Leonard Williams led the team in sacks with 4.5. I mean, yeah, we did have a okay amount of interceptions, but yeah, okay, this season definitely goes in the trash can. Hopefully we're able to draft our franchise quarterback, because I'm not going to really be able to sign one just because we're still paying Daniel Jones all this money. So the Cowboys beat the Bengals 21-19 in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes won MVP. Coach of the Year, Sean McDermott of the Bills. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. Bijan, Offensive Rookie. And Julius Brands, Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right, so mock draft 3 just came out. Marvin Harrison Jr. is projected the number 1 pick. Oh my God, we have the number 1 overall pick. Yes. Okay. I should have double checked if we had the worst record in the league. As much as I would love Marvin Harrison on this team, if Daniel Jones showed any kind of progress this year that he was like, maybe it would have been a lot better if he had a wide receiver 1 in Marvin Harrison, I would take him, but no, it's going to be Caleb Williams, and yeah, he's going to be in New York Giant. I haven't got him in any Madden rebuilds, so this will be fun to do. I would like to bring back Saquon. I don't know if we're going to really have too much money to do so, but I would like to give him a 4-year deal Please take that, Saquon. Okay, let's go. We're going to sign Xavier McKinney to come back. Adoree Jackson as well. Isaiah Simmons accepts our contract extension, as well as Leonard Williams. And lastly, I'm going to give Graham Gano a contract to come back. All right, I'm going to cut Mark Lewinsky here. That's going to save, I think, around, $4 million in cap space. I want to cut Darius Slayton, but I didn't re-sign Isaiah Hodgins or Paris Campbell, but I'm fine with like Wandale and Hyatt being here, but we probably should keep Slayton around, especially if I can add another free agent receiver this offseason, because Caleb Williams is just going to have just as bad of weapons, maybe even worse than Daniel Jones had. As much as I would like love to sign Rashawn Gary or Mike Williams to this team, we just really don't have the cap space. You could see $10 million. If there's like a receiver I can get for really cheap, do we bring back Odell on a 1-year deal? I don't even think that would be worth it. Like, I let Sterling Shepard walk too. Yeah, like, I physically can't afford a receiver, sadly. All right, so with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants are going to select Caleb Williams. We're going to opt for him over maybe Drake May or Marvin Harrison Jr. Hidden development, obviously, wow, that looks nothing like him, that player there. But yeah, quarterback out of USC. They just recently lost to Notre Dame for the first time this season, but he is undoubtedly the number 1 pick in the draft. And we just got our franchise quarterback, a generational one too. And with pick 33 in the draft, I'm going to select Marco Person, a wide receiver out of Oklahoma State, I believe, or just out of Oklahoma, excuse me. Normal development hurts. His ratings don't look too bad. A spectacular catch. We'll see how he looks kind of over time as well. 94 excel, 94 agility, 94 change of direction, 86 jumping, 96 speed. We could definitely throw him in the slot. We take Eric Robertson, a linebacker, here in the 3rd round. Here in the 4th round, I'm going to take Caleb Watford, a free safety out of Georgetown. What a weird college. Do they even have a football team? So this was our draft recap. We also selected Josh Tucker, Deshaun Drummond, and Brett Money there. We do need a fullback there in the 7th round. All right, so here is the draft recap with Caleb Williams being an 80 overall, Person at a 77, Robertson at a 73, Watford being at a 65 Hurts. Tucker, we took Josh Tucker left end, Deshaun Drummond there in the 6th, and then Brett Money there in the 7th. We did need a fullback on the team, so he looks like he might be like him, Robertson, Person, and Caleb Williams are going to be the guys that could maybe be impact players to this team. Whoa, the Rams drafted Michael Penix 11th overall. The Vikings selected Shedeur Sanders at the 25th overall pick. Drake May went to the Denver Broncos at number 10. That's a great selection for them. All right, I'm so much more excited about this year with Caleb Williams than I was last year. Yeah, I'm so much more excited about this season with Caleb Williams than I was last year with Daniel Jones. Hopefully Madden recognizes the 2-year deal with Jones and I'm able to cut him at the end of this year. Maybe cutting Golinski wasn't the greatest idea because the offensive line is definitely weak in some areas. Like Neal and John Michael Schmitz are like still young and developing, and like Andrew Thomas is still young, but we definitely need to figure out the guard spots over time. Darren Waller has regressed a little bit as our tight end. Person, it's Michael Person, right? Marco, excuse me. Yeah, he's gonna be, I think, our slot receiver, and I may have like one, but I kind of like Jalen Hyatt. I don't know though. 72 overall, he didn't really develop much last year. I think Person's going to be in the slot. We have Saquon and we have Caleb Williams. The defense is still okay. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I do think it will get better over time. Hopefully we see some nice progression out of Deonte Banks here in year 2 as well. He's up to a 79 overall. We could also flirt with some scheme changes if we wanted to go to like a 4-3, depending on who we add and who we don't throughout the year. So what I just also want to do is just, make sure that our slot receivers are correct. I think Marco Person is going to be in the slot just with that 96 speed. I think he could definitely be Caleb Williams' favorite target, even though he's only a 71 overall there in the slot. I don't know about that. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the midseason point, and hopefully that this team is, hovering around 500. All right, so we are 3-3 here at the midseason mark. That could be the Caleb Williams effect. He's 30th in passing yards, 31st in passing touchdowns. Okay. I don't love to see that. I may look to move, like Saquon's killing it this year. I may look to just change up our offensive playbook right now because this can't be right. All right, so we're going to go to a more spread offense, change the playbook as well because I feel like Caleb Williams should not be the 30th highest passing quarterback in the league. That just doesn't make any sense, at least what I'm trying to at least build here in New York. So we did end the season 7-10, but hey, that is some nice linear progression from last year. That means we got 5 more wins. Caleb Williams is going to be up to an 87 overall for us. So we'll take a look here at the stats from this past season. Okay, there we go. Much better after week 8, whatever. He went from 30th to 11th in passing yards. That is great. 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Oh my God, he's so good. Yes, so glad I drafted him. Saquon was really good, 72 yards per game, 11 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. Caleb Williams had 377 yards. And shout out to Eric Gray, right? Getting, 245? Okay. Receiving wise, Wandale Robinson Had over 1,000 yards. Hell yeah, 5 touchdowns. Marco Person had 1,000 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns. Slayton 841. Waller much better this year as well. Just night and day with the quarterbacks change. Andrew Thomas gave up 16 sacks, but I think 6 for Evan Neal is nice. We're going to definitely look to add 2 new guards this offseason. Bobby Okereke had 117 tackles, 2 sacks. Isaiah Simmons at 110. Dexter Lawrence had 9 sacks. I would like to add maybe another playmaker on the defensive side of the ball, so I think it's try to add 2 guards, maybe another defensive playmaker, maybe it's a corner, maybe it's an edge rusher or D lineman. If I could add another receiver, sure, but I don't think that's really a necessity because I feel like Caleb Williams can make any receiving core work, but we'll see. So the Cowboys won back-to-back Super Bowls. They beat the Buffalo Bills 31-21. Dak Prescott was your Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow won MVP throughout the regular season. Zach Taylor, Coach of the Year. Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald, DPOY. Caleb Williams, there we go, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Damian Metcalf, who I believe was the second overall pick to the Cardinals, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we didn't have any retirements of our own, but notable ones in the NFC East with Darius Slay and Lane Johnson of the Eagles and Tyron Smith there of the Dallas Cowboys. Please tell me I can cut Daniel Jones for a nice savings. Okay, maybe we have to wait a little bit, but yeah, I would take a $70 million penalty. So it is completely not worth it at all to release him. Jeez. So I don't think I'm going to do that yet. All right, maybe after the offseason or maybe in a week or two, like once we have like the New Year phase, I could cut him. We'll see. That's just brutal, though. But thank God we have our franchise quarterback under a rookie contract. All right, so Kayvon Thibodeau's 5th-year option, we are definitely going to pick that up. Azeez Ojulari's a free agent. How much cap space? We have a little bit. I would like to bring him back, though, and we do get him back. Evan Neal's 5th-year option, I'm going to pick up as well. And we're going to look to bring back Jamie Gillen, our punter. So that leaves us with around $19 million in cap space. We could look to hit up the trade market as well. I do want to see who's in free agency first. Oh, wow. Joel Bitonio would be nice. There's 7 teams interested in him. Would cost me a pretty penny. He's, 33 years old? Yeah, we really can't afford him, sadly. Wyatt Teller would also be kind of sick. Why do I feel like he was a former Giant? But, it would really just ruin all my cap as well. Some solid free agents here. Rondell Moore, Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett. Yeah, and there's really no good contracts that we could cut right now. All right, I'm going to try to sign Isaiah Wynn. I don't know if he's going to accept this deal. I don't know where it's going to match up with some other contracts as well, but it's actually his only offer. So that is pretty good for us. We should definitely take that. And then Laken Tomlinson, I'm going to give a 1-year deal to. He could be a right guard if we do sign him. That pretty much does it with cap space for us, so I'm hoping we're able to sign both of them. So just taking a look at the mock draft 4 before we end up seeing if we were able to sign those guys. We have the 8th overall selection, and I think I'm going to look at defense with that pick because I think we're actually kind of set with what we got. I'm fine with the wide receiver trio of Person, Wandell, and Hyatt, as well as I think Isaiah Hodgins as well, or whoever the 4th guy is. With Darren Waller, obviously, and Saquon Barkley. And then the O-line, if we are able to sign both those guys, I think that should be good, at least with the offensive side of the ball. And boom, we get Isaiah Wynn and Laken Tomlinson. That's huge for us. All right, so we're up to an 83 overall. Let's start the NFL draft. So I think there was a quarterback that was projected the number 1 overall pick to Detroit. Move on from Jared Goff, and yep, they take Parker Borden out of North Dakota State, following the lineage of great North Dakota State quarterbacks here in the 21st century with Carson Wentz and Trey Lance. So yeah, Lance went 3, Wentz went 2. And yeah, now they have a 1, 2, and 3 picks here in the 21st century, which is kind of cool, and that being North Dakota State. All right, so with our first round pick, I take Taylor Garrison, a right outside linebacker. This means we could move Kayvon Thibodeau down to the D-line, and Garrison will start on the outside. Hidden development, that's huge for us. All right, I really thought he was going to be a good player, but I took Peter Chambers here in the 2nd round. He could eventually maybe replace Darren Waller. I thought he was going to be hidden development. I'm a little bit disappointing with this, but I think he's going to have a solid overall out of the gate. There we go. We got Jeremy Morrison here in the 3rd round, 88 speed, 95 acceleration corner with hidden development out of Michigan State. And then we take Kai Rushing, another outside linebacker here in the 4th. So yeah, Garrison's at 74 overall. Damn, I thought Chambers was actually going to be solid. 64 overall. That is brutal. Jeremy Morrison's at 67 with hidden development. All right, I'm kind of disappointed with this draft. Not going to lie. Just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Parker Borden, the quarterback, is a 76 overall, and they got him a wide receiver target as well, so just kind of copying our draft strategy for the first 2 rounds from the 2024 draft. Yeah, Madden isn't a fan of this Daniel Jones contract at all. A $58 million cap hit next season. Don't you just love that? All right, so here is what the lineup is going to look like. We have 2 new guards with Isaiah Wynn and Laken Tomlinson. We still have Darren Waller out there. We still have Daniel Bellinger, but it's going to be like Wandell Robinson, Robinson, Marco Person, and probably Jalen Hyatt as the trio. We'll have Eric Gray. We have Saquon Barkley, who's now down from Superstar X Factor, Caleb Williams, and then Money, who was our last pick in the 2024 draft. The D-line is going to look, I think, a little bit different. I'm going to move Kayvon Thibodeau down to the right end position. So we have him, Dexter Lawrence, and Leonard Williams. The corners are okay. Banks, we have Adoree Jackson. Maybe Morrison will spend some time in the slot just to develop. Strong safety looks a little bit weak with Belton out there. We have McKinney still at the free safety. I like the linebacking core a lot. So I'm hoping that this team can make the playoffs in year 3, but we'll see. Last year I set the season goal for 7 games, and we actually hit that exactly. So I think this year I'm going to say for make the playoffs. Come on, Caleb Williams, bring me there. And we are 3-4 through our first 7 games. Just kind of a quick stat update as well, just to see where Caleb Williams is looking at. 6th in passing yards, 5th in passing touchdowns, 20th in passer rating though this season. 14 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. I think he had only 6 last year, so he's already eclipsed that, which isn't great. He's at 180 rushing yards. Saquon's averaging 74 a game. 6 touchdowns to 2 fumbles also isn't a great ratio either. Wandale leading the way in receiving yards, then Person, and then Waller, and then Jalen Hyatt. Sacks don't look too bad. Definitely look better this year. How are we doing in like the sack department for our defensive side of the ball? Kayvon Thibodeau with 3 sacks. I would like for him to get close to 10, but I don't know if we're going to get there with somebody this season. All right, so we ended the season with the same record, 7-10. I was hoping we were going to be a playoff team this year, or at least be above 500. Caleb Williams looks so good, man. 33 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,300 yards, 71% completion percentage. He was so good. Saquon was definitely a little bit worse this year. Caleb Williams got over 400 rushing yards. Maybe I don't know if I would even want a better backup running back, because Eric Gray averaged 9.5 yards per carry. We had 3 1,000-yard receivers in Marco Person, Wandale Robinson, and Darren Waller, who had 13 touchdowns. Hell yeah, I think the offensive line played pretty well. We'll have Isaiah Wynn and basically everybody else under contract besides Lake and Tomlinson, because I just signed him to a 1-year deal. So I do wonder how this team kind of disappointed this year. I wonder if we should look to maybe add on the defensive side of the ball, probably in the secondary at a safety and maybe another corner. Kayvon Thibodeau with 11.5 sacks this year. I love to see that. That's really what I envisioned. So I think that's going to be what we're going to try to do in the offseason, because if we take a look here at just like offensive points per game, were we up there? We actually were probably middle of the pack. Of course, you like have to count it to see, but 22.4 points per game, not great, honestly. I thought it would be a little bit better than that. And can you look at allowed points per game? You cannot. I just love that, Madden. So I guess it's basically fine like this. So basically, we did have a bottom 10 defense when it looks to points allowed. And the Baltimore Ravens beat the Falcons. So 2 birds going up against each other, 24-21 in the Super Bowl. And Super Bowl MVP was Odafe Owe, who was the, last pick? No, he was at the end of the first round of the 2021 draft out of Penn State. Josh Allen won MVP. Mike McCarthy was your coach of the year. Lamar Jackson, offensive player of the year. Aaron Donald, once again, Depoy. Colin Fletcher, a receiver for the Dolphins, was your offensive rookie of the year. And Jacquez Richardson for the Niners, a corner, gets defensive rookie of the year. Nobody on our team retired, so we're going to hopefully get mostly everybody we want back. Now, I'm going to see if we can cut Daniel Jones, because I could literally add like a top corner and maybe lineman or linebacker or safety if I were to cut him and actually save money, but unfortunately I would take like a $60 million cap hit, which is just a shame. So we could cut Darren Waller, who's a 78 overall, and save $13 million. I feel like I should do this. Daniel Jones, I would take a massive penalty still. So I got to do 1 more year with him. And then, of course, like Caleb Williams is basically due for his next contract. I'm honestly going to release Darren Waller and save that $13 million. I know he had a great year, but he's getting older. He's regressing. We are going to release him to save $13 million. So frustrating, man, about the Daniel Jones contract. So now we do need to add a tight end in this offseason as well. We're going to pick up Deonte Banks' 5th-year option. We give Adoree Jackson a 1-year extension. Thankfully, we didn't really have any major free agents. All right, so according to the latest mock draft, we are going to have around the 10th overall pick in the draft, and Jason Tucker could potentially be the guy out of USC, a corner. Do I try to play like 3D chess here and try to get Darren Waller back on a 1-year deal? Nobody's offered him a contract, so I would literally give him a 1-year deal. Like, not a lot of money, but I still don't really have cap space. I thought I cleared up about $15 million when I released him. Maybe us picking up the Deonte Banks 5th-year option went into that, but yeah, I don't know if he's even going to accept that. And I got $4 million remaining because we're paying Daniel Jones all this money. Yeah, so we didn't get Darren Waller. I assume assume he's probably got another offer out there, yeah, from the Jets, which is going to beat us. So we're going to withdraw our offer. We still have $8 million to spend. I don't know if I'm going to just try to snag a guard out here. I'm going to try to get Teron Johnson here to potentially be our slot corner, and we were able to sign him. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to take Jason Tucker, the corner out of USC with the selection. Hidden development. His ratings look really good. 95 excel, 88 agility, 93 change of direction, 91 speed. I'm excited to see how he progresses. All right, so we took Spencer Barkley here in the second round as a strong safety. I'm afraid his overall might not be the greatest, and he is normal development. We're going to go back-to-back strong safeties here and take Tyler Spears out of Delaware. Shout out Joe Flacco. He actually could be a higher overall than the strong safety we just took. Hey, there we go. We took Antonio Northcutt, a free safety, hidden development out of Purdue. Wait, we have a trade offer for Daniel Jones. I mean, it is the final year of his contract. Whoa, the Seattle Seahawks. Whoa, oh my God. I didn't even put him up on the trade block. Holy crap. Okay, we definitely have to take advantage of this. We can get Devon Witherspoon out of Seattle. We can get Brian Branch, who's now on the Saints. He left the Lions. Jahan Dotson if we want another receiver. I think I'm going to go out and get Devon Witherspoon here and just get a really good corner. Let's do that. I'm sure we're going to take a cap hit on that just because, like, we're trading Daniel Jones, but it's 1 year left on the deal, so we might as well. Let's go. I guess Seattle was very desperate for a quarterback. Spencer Barkley's a 73, Spears is a 68, Northcutt 65 with the hidden development. And then we took a right guard, a receiver, and a halfback. All right, so we have about $14 million in cap space, and I'm going to make some trades before the season starts. All right, so we sent Adoree Jackson and a 5th round pick to the Jets, so interstate trade here for Isaiah Likely. They ended up getting Darren Waller, so Likely became expendable. All right, so I'm going to do something a little unorthodox. I know I just signed Teron Johnson, but I didn't think I was going to get Devon Witherspoon, so I'm going to move Johnson, a 6th and a 4th for Jahan Dotson, who we could have gotten in that Daniel Jones trade. So we had another target, Isaiah Likely, and now Dotson for Caleb Williams. And I believe we are going to bring back Laken Tomlinson for another year to be a starting guard for us. So yeah, let's sign him. All right, I'm actually very excited about this team here in year 4. I think we could win a Super Bowl, but first we just got to get to the playoffs, in which the lineup is going to look, I think, better, I would say, from last year. I think like Isaiah Likely could be a breakout guy at the tight end spot. The O-line is basically, well, it's actually the same. We have Jahan Dotson, Barkley, Marco Person because Wandell is gone, and we got Jalen Hyatt there as well. Saquon in the backfield. Gibson, I don't know. Gray was actually pretty good, so I think he'll stay there. Money at fullback, and obviously Caleb Williams at a 93 overall as our quarterback. We have Xavier McKinney, and we have Barkley, the rookie safeties there. Azeez Ojulari, Bobby Okereke, Isaiah Simmons, and Garrison, who was our first-round pick last year at the linebacker spots. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau on the D-line, and then I think 3 really good corners of Deontay Banks, Devon Witherspoon, and Jason Tucker, who we also just took in the first round. All right, so here at the midseason mark, we are 3-3. Not really where I want to be. I was hoping to be like maybe 4-2 or maybe 5-1. That would have been pretty cool. Caleb Williams, good start to the season though. 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, 72% completion percentage, 112 passer rating. I'm a fan of that. Saquon's averaging 5.1 yards per carry, 81 yards a game. Wait, I might have been tripping. When I said Eric Gray had like a good yards per carry, was I looking at his yards per game? I'm like, oh, 9. That's pretty great. Like, honestly, for the minimal carries he gets, it's probably looking at yards per game, Matt, when you were like, oh, it's really good. Dotson with 478, Likely with 429. Dotson already has 7 touchdowns. That is very impressive. Andrew Thomas has given up 4 sacks. John Michael Smith, 2. Isaiah Wynn, 2 as well. Isaiah Simmons leading the way in the tackle department. Dexter Lawrence with 3 sacks. Thibodeau with only a sack and a half. And we've yet to get an interception this year. Don't you just love that? All right, so here we are finishing up the regular season. Hopefully we can advance to the playoffs. And boom, there we go. We go 12-5. We won the division, and we're going to be taking on the Cowboys in the wild card round. Hey, only 2 losses in the second half of the season. That's great. I think Caleb Williams is up to like a 95 overall. Well, yeah, that was nice to have him for a while. Come on, we should be able to win with him. I know I haven't given him the best weapons in the world, but 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,100 yards, 71% completion percentage. Saquon, 16 touchdowns. Eric Gray had 7. Saquon had 5.1 yards per carry, almost 1,200 yards. Dotson and Likely over 1,000 yards apiece. Jalen Hyatt had 597. Marco Person had 721. 14 touchdowns for Jahan Dotson, who's now just basically a wide receiver 1. Kayvon Thibodeau ended up with 9 sacks, Dexter Lawrence as well, and we ended up just having 7 interceptions this year, but shout out to rookie Spencer Barkley getting 2 of them. All right, here we go. Can we beat our division rival? Yes, we can. We ended up winning in a very good defensive game, 17-14, and we advanced to the divisional round to take on the 11-6 Falcons. Pretty similar overalls. They're just a little bit better on the offensive end as we are on the defensive side of the ball. Caleb Williams, the did not throw an interception. I will take that. Kellen Mond got in the game. Why? I don't have injuries on, so I'm very confused how he threw the ball 10 different times. What? I'm confused. I really don't know. Eric Gray. What happened to Saquon? What is going on right now? I thought for a second I was looking at the preseason games. What just happened in this game? What? Like, what? I'm so confused. Like, there shouldn't be any injury report, right? Unless everyone just got hurt in one game. No, the injuries aren't on. So I'm very confused what just happened there. All right, well, here goes nothing against Atlanta. Can we advance to the conference championship? And yes, we do. And oh my goodness, let's go. We're going up against the 9-8 Eagles. I mean, they do have a 91 offense. 87 overall. They're definitely better than us, but they went 9-8, so maybe I shouldn't be as scared. But hey, we just won 24-7. We kind of dominated Atlanta. Wow, Caleb Williams is up to a 99 overall. Let's freaking go, man. Damn, Barkley's at 93. Dotson's an 85. You got Likely at an 80. Andrew Thomas is at a 98. I mean, that's very impressive. Defense looks good, man. Barkley's already up to a 77 as a rookie. Tucker's an 81. McKinney's at an 85. Superstar development now, too. All right, so let's see if we're able to beat the Eagles and head to the Super Bowl. Yes, we do. We end up beating them 35-21. But we're going up against the Ravens, who I believe won it last year. So that does scare me a little bit. All right, here we go. Time to play, or at least watch the Super Bowl unfold. 85 overall going up against an 88. Yeah, I'm kind of scared to play Lamar Jackson. But we faced some other mobile quarterbacks in the playoffs. At least Dak. I mean, Dak's not like super mobile, but Jalen Hurts in the conference championship. So we're playing in a Hard Rock. Here we go. Caleb Williams versus Lamar Jackson. Let's watch this game unfold, man. Please get off to a good start. Boom, we're already up 7-0. 14-0. Hold on a second. What is going on? I kind of just wanted to see the stats so far of this game. Caleb Williams is 4 for 5 with a touchdown, 0 interceptions. Lamar not off to a good start. Why is Eric Gray playing over Saquon Barkley? I don't get it. What is going on, Madden? Why are you opting to that? Why is Peter Chambers my number 1 receiving target? I mean, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's not super weird. I'm just wondering, where is Saquon? He's not hurt. Deontay Banks got the interception, right? Saquon has 0 carries. Why are we opting for Eric Gray? I'm just so lost by that. Maybe this is a Madden glitch that's currently going on. But let's see if we can keep our 14-point lead. Nope, they score basically right away. So it is 14-7 at the moment here as we finish up the first half. They came back, but we go up 21-14, and then they score 2 unanswered. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. 35-21. Come on. Can we please come back? Can we please come back? Did we just lose? Oh, my God. We just lost the Super Bowl 35-28, man. That sucks. Damn, that was a very entertaining Super Bowl, too. Caleb Williams, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Lamar kind of upped him 4-1, but Caleb did throw for 100 more yards. Why didn't Saquon get a single carry? I am so confused right now. Why was Peter Chambers oh my God. And Ronnie Bell? Okay, it's like, I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Like, why wasn't it Dotson, Marco Person, and Jalen Hyatt? Or Isaiah Likely? Why did Isaiah Likely not get a single catch? Why did Dotson only get 1? Can somebody explain this to me in the comments? I know I haven't played Madden in a little bit, but this seems weird. But yeah, usually my goal is to make it to the Super Bowl. This took 4 years to get the Giants back on track, but we did need to draft a generational quarterback to do so. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like if you want to see more Madden rebuilds on the channel, at least throughout the NFL season. It would be cool to maybe do once a week if I did this. Maybe on just football Sundays. I know this isn't coming out then, but that could be the mindset. If you could also explain to me, why did Saquon or just any of my receiving core not play? And there was that glitch against the Cowboys as well, where I was like, are they just showing me a preseason game? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments what went down. Hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.